Hello, hello. Can you guys see me? Looks like we have somebody. We'll wait for just a few minutes for everyone to join. Cool. All right, we're getting some viewers. Welcome. Good evening. And Chris will be joining us. Chris will be logging in real soon. Oh, actually, I can go ahead and I need to invite Chris onto the screen. All right. So how's everyone doing? All right, cool. Chris is here. So did you guys have a nice 4th of July?
Yeah, we did. It was pretty fun. So it was good enough for me anyway. It was like super hot out though, so kind of stayed inside until it got cool.
Nice, nice. Cool. Well, yeah, while we're waiting, we actually have some polls for you. So can everyone see that? I made 3 polls. And the first one is how long you've been selling on Amazon. We're just curious how long you've been selling. Is this your first time using a third-party repricer? So when I mean third-party repricer, I mean like not Amazon's repricer. So like a paid repricer. And what is your primary sourcing method? So that's also very interesting. Also, looks like we got some answers. Chris, is that you? Are you answering that, or is that somebody else?
Oh no, I'm not answering.
Okay. Okay. Cool. Cool. Yeah. That is pretty interesting to know, right? Like the sourcing method.
Yeah, it's kind of important. Depends on what you want to do. Sets your goals.
Yeah. I mean, it changes the way that you reprice and you set min and max. Yeah, we got some people who are filling it out now. All right, so we got looks like we have 2 answers so far. Yeah, okay. So been selling for under a year and 1 to 2 years, it looks like. Okay. Okay, first time using a third-party repricer. You see that, Chris? There's a lot to learn if this is your first time.
That's okay. It's not too bad. Make it easy.
But at the same time, I think that if you've never used a repricer before, I think you're going to be blown away because you guys were probably repricing manually before, right? So I think,
Yeah, that would be
yeah.
insane.
Well, okay, cool. We have wholesale and we have retail arbitrage. That's good. Chris, do you do both, right? You do both wholesale and retail arbitrage?
Yeah, yeah, we do a bit of both. Depends on the day.
Well, depends on the day. Wow. Cool. Cool. All right. Cool. All right. So for those of you who are just joining us, feel free to answer the poll. It lets us know about you a little bit better because depending on how long you've been selling and what's your sourcing method, maybe your goals are going to be a little bit different. All right. Cool. Cool. Three. Yeah. Okay. All three respondents so far, first time using a repricer. Very cool. All right. Okay. Well, let's go ahead and get started. Let's get started. I'll load up. I'll load up. Please give me a moment. I'll load up the presentation. Right. Okay, can you guys see that? It should be the presentation now.
Yeah, it's showing up on the side. So
okay.
Should hide our video so they can see it better.
All right, well, I'm going to hide us then. There I go, and I'm going to hide you as well, Chris. Okay. Yeah, that should be it, right? Should take up the whole screen.
Yep.
Okay, cool. Cool, well, welcome everyone. We're going to get started with the presentation, and at any time, feel free to message along the side, and Chris will be reading your messages. We might be able to answer some questions during, or we might just save it towards the end. Okay. I want to make this the full window. Okay, yeah, here we go. All right. Okay, and so anyways, yeah, welcome to BQool. I'm Michael, the repricing, I'm the marketing manager, and you may have seen videos and stuff with me and Chris. Chris, can you introduce yourself?
Yeah, I'm Chris. I've kind of been around the block for a while, about 2 years on Amazon, and been using BQool for over a year. And I manage the BQool user support group on Facebook. So maybe if you have questions, you can certainly ask them there. So I've used it a fair amount and kind of know it, and I'm a user just like you guys. So.
Yeah, awesome. And since we know that a lot of you guys are new to repricing, I'll try to keep that in mind. Okay, so for this presentation, we'll start off with like an overview of the features, and then we'll go into the software and demo just a little bit. I'll tell you about the user resources that we have, just to make sure you know all of them, the promotions that we have going on right now, and at the end, we'll answer your questions. Okay, so getting started with the features guide. We'll be talking about pricing plans and speed, listing management, automated setup, profit and ROI calculation, rule basics, and then we'll go over some data and how to use it at the end. Okay, so starting off, I'll tell you a little bit about the pricing plans and speed. The lowest plan that we have is the $25 plan. You get 1,000 repricing enabled listings, and that number, that's the number that you enable. So if you pay for 1,000, you can enable 1,000. Even if you have 5,000 or 10,000 listings, that's the number that you enable. And all plans come with accelerated repricing. That's 15-minute repricing. And on the $100 plan and above, we offer 5-minute accelerated repricing. Okay, so that's for those of you who are on very competitive listings. Like then you would need that. But I think in general, most people use the 15 minutes and it works pretty well. Okay. So the next thing is listings management. This is one of the really, really big things about BQool that users really like. You can do a lot of listings management in here. So yeah, you can manage listings individually, one by one. We have bulk actions that lets you select like 5, 10, or whole pages of listings, and you can apply settings to those. Okay, so and we have filters. So later on, we'll go into the software so you can see the filters more clearly. But the filters lets you sort for the listings that you want. For example, like the newest listings, or just active listings, or just FBA listings, and etc. You can see we have a whole bunch of filters. And the fourth way to do listings management is the bulk upload file. Yeah, Chris, if I'm not mistaken, you use the bulk upload a lot, right?
Yeah, I used to actually use it a lot more, but with some of the newer features, I don't even have to touch it as much as I used to. So but yeah, I like the bulk upload. It offers a little bit more flexibility for a few things, but that's an advanced feature. You certainly don't need to use bulk uploads if you're scared of spreadsheets or whatever, by any means.
Right. Well, it's good to have those options. I think some people prefer like to do it in the managed listings page just because you can see everything. You can see all that data while you're doing it, and you can sort and stuff. Yeah. All right, cool. Okay. So the next thing is the automated setup. So you'll find this within general settings. Okay, so this part is kind of divided up into 3 parts. So at the top, the first option is to set a time zone. That's not really that big of a deal, but you do need it. You do need it for like to set up the scheduler and a few other things. Okay, so the next one that actually helps you like automate a little bit is you have the option to reset your price when out of stock. Okay, and okay, so there's that. And then below, you can set defaults for min, max, rule, and cost. And we have this to help you save time. So, every time you send a new shipment in, you don't necessarily have to, like go in and set up min, max, and rule. Like if you set this up, your new listings will have defaults assigned for min, max, rule, and cost. Okay, so that's those 4 settings right there. Okay, so moving on down, the FBM shipping cost. So that's optional. You would only enter that if you have FBM listings and you're using the profit calculator. So we need the FBM shipping costs in order to do the profit calculator. And the last one is set shipping. And so let me explain what set shipping is. So we need your shipping fee in order to set up min and max price. Even if you're using FBA, I know that it's usually $0, but we still need the shipping, and it takes us a few hours to get it from the reports. So a lot of users, they like to set up min and max before the products actually get to the warehouse. So they'll use this setting so that we'll automatically assign new FBA listings $0 so that you can start setting up min and max. And then after a few hours, we'll get the real shipping data from the Amazon reports anyways. So this is just to give you that shipping before we get it from the reports, basically. So Chris, do you use the general settings?
Yep, and this is the setting that I mentioned earlier that saves a lot of time. So I used to use the bulk upload to do essentially what this does, but now I have it set automatically. So it sets my min price, my max price, and my rule all at the same time as soon as I submit my shipments to Amazon. So it makes it a lot easier, and I don't even have to think about it until they get there, and then I can go back and adjust the prices a little bit more.
Awesome. Okay. Do you use the reset price when out of stock? Do you use that one?
I haven't yet, but I think there's certain cases where you would want to use that. It all depends on what kind of listings you run.
Okay, sweet. Awesome. Cool. All right. Well, let me keep going then. So I was mentioning set shipping. Okay, so there's a few other ways that you can do set shipping. So I kind of highlighted the boxes in red. So we have a shipping column. So some of you who have logged into the software, you might be wondering, what is that shipping column? And all it is it lets you update your shipping fee before we get it from the reports. That's it. Yeah. So once you update it there, it'll be updated in the, if you look just to the left of that, there's the your price plus shipping column. So that's the top part is your price, and the second number is the shipping. So whatever you enter in the shipping column, it'll show up there. Okay. And the third way to do set shipping is using bulk actions. So if you look under the bulk actions dropdown, we have a set shipping option there. And there's a reload shipping. And what that means is after we get the shipping from the reports, you can reload it. And so we'll actually go fetch the actual shipping. So you normally wouldn't use reload, only if like you changed your shipping and you need it updated. Okay, and the last way is actually through the bulk upload file. You can also update the shipping through there. So there's 4 ways to set shipping. All right, the next feature is the profit and ROI calculator. This is a pretty big one. Yeah, so we have a built-in FBM and an FBA version. So the FBM is on the left side and the FBA is on the right side. They're slightly different because the FBA side has the FBA fulfillment fees, right? And the FBM side, it has the shipping cost. Right? Those are probably the main differences. But besides that, yeah, you enter your cost, and you either enter a min price, and then it'll spit out the ROI and profit for you, or you can put in an ROI, and then we'll give you the min price or max price that you need. Okay, so far so good. Yeah. All right. Cool. Okay, so for the next, so this next section about rules, Chris will be taking over.
Sure. So rules are the big thing that kind of manages what it does with your product's pricing, throughout the day, and it compares it against your competitors. So kind of here's the basic rundown. There's different scenarios, and so the first one is that your buy box price, and this would be where you would be comparing against buy box typically, but the buy box price is between your min price and your max price. So it's above the min price and it's below the max price, or the buy box could be equal to your min price, or it could be equal to the max price. So that's the different scenarios, and you'll see that verbiage inside the rules, and that's kind of what they mean as a visual representation there.
Cool. All right. Yeah. Next slide.
And then there's another scenario that could exist where your buy box price could be below or above, depending on the situation of the listing and what you were setting your min and max prices at. So then that's another scenario where you might do something different. No competition essentially means that there is no one else on the listing, so it's just you. So there is you would probably have buy box at that time, but there's no one else there, no competitors. And then buy box suppressed only happens. You can only see that rule case, scenario in a buy box rule, but it would be where the buy box is suppressed. So it says on the listings, it doesn't show an actual buy box price, and it'll be like, see click here for all prices or something, and then it takes you to the all offers page, and then you can see the list of all the users there. So that's another scenario that you would have to decide what to do, how you'd like to reprice.
Sweet. Cool. All right.
All right, so this is kind of the rule basics. So what you want to do depends on how you want to run things. You can match the buy box. So for the top there, it says matching the buy box. You would then try and put your price at the same price as the buy box, as long as that's within your min and max price range. And then there's other scenarios, you can run rules that would beat the buy box. So then it's going to go below the buy box price, as it says in the bottom, or you could be above the buy box price, and you can change these. They can be a cent below, or a cent above, or percentages above, or percentages below. But that's kind of what we mean when you're going to match the buy box, or you're going to reprice above or below. Or so those are the different scenarios that you can do with rules.
Mm-hmm. Cool. All right.
And so this is kind of the basic rundown of what a rule looks like, what the settings look like inside of it. This is kind of an advanced thing, so you don't necessarily need to dive into these immediately, but you can configure a lot of things. So the top part says compete with, and that's what I was mentioning before. You can do the buy box price. So then it looks at the buy box price, and you can choose which competitors you would like to compete with. So Amazon, for instance, or maybe it's an FBA seller or an FBM seller. You can do enable or disable which ones you would like to compete with. Maybe you don't want to compete with merchant fulfill sellers. It depends on what you want to do. So then here's the different scenarios that we were explaining before in the other charts. So you have what are you going to do when your buy box winner is above min price, and what are you going to do when it's below the min price, or when it equals the min price? What are you going to do when there's no other sellers? There's no competition. You can pick what you would like to do with that. Maybe you want it to be max price. Maybe you want it to be a percentage above your min price, for example. And then another setting that you can change when the buy box winner's out of range. So that means they're either below your min price or above, either case. What would you like it to do? Maybe you don't want it to do anything, just sit there and wait until somebody gets back in the price range. And then the suppressed buy box is the next kind of setting that you can do. What do you want it to do when there is no buy box? Do you want it to reprice or not reprice, or do a max price or a min price? There's different options. And then the last feature there you see is the price safety net. Essentially, when you enable this, and you can enable it or disable it, it will only adjust your price by a set percentage, depending on how much the difference is. So if the difference was going to decrease you like $10, you could have it go down by a few percent instead of the whole huge range. So it kind of saves you some profit and not jumping all the way down to the bottom to follow a low baller or somebody else, for instance, if they're still in your min and max price range. So it kind of just saves you some money, and hopefully you can make that sale at the higher price instead of instantly way down.
Mm-hmm. Right on. Okay.
So there's some other things that they've added recently. These are the custom settings. They're kind of handy to use. You can include or exclude specific sellers, and you can add them by the seller ID. So say there's a specific seller on a listing you don't want to compete with because of some reason or another, you can exclude them. You can also exclude sellers by their free shipping, or whether they have expedited shipping. Exclude, include, depends on what you want to do. You can also exclude by percentage of feedback, or their feedback counts. So let's say there's somebody that doesn't have any feedback, you don't want to compete against them, or they have really low feedback, you could do that, or they have not very good feedback. You can exclude those sellers, so you don't even have to pay attention to them. And then a nice new feature is excluding back-ordered sellers. So you wouldn't compete with people that are other competitors that are transferring, and that's where it says essentially available on this date, in the future. And so you wouldn't have to compete against them, because in theory, typically you they won't be eligible for buy box as a seller would be that's in stock immediately. So you can maintain a higher profit. So that's kind of a nice feature that you can enable. You can change how you would handle if somebody has a long handling time, whether you want to pay attention to them or not. And then you can also reprice by sub-condition. And this is in reference to used conditions, so if you want to reprice against your used condition could be just compared against just very good or all used, or the same condition, maybe just used against, or used like new against used like new, or maybe you want to do against the same or better condition, or you can pick specific ones down there at the bottom. It says you can pick used, and then you can pick specific conditions. So it just all depends on what you want to do, but it's kind of nice for used book sellers, for instance, where maybe you have a used very good book, but you would rather price against very good and above, and not just everyone that has even a lesser condition.
Yeah, that's really interesting. I think there's some people in our support group that that sell used books, and I feel like their repricing strategy is a little bit different, right? Do you get that feeling?
Yeah. When you do used books, it's a lot different. Generally speaking, I don't have a lot of personal experience, but I've worked with a few people, and it takes a little bit of a different angle, and this helps you kind of maintain your profits by still being competitive.
Right. Yeah. If you guys sell like used products, like maybe you can mention that, because it's a little bit different. Cool. Okay. Next one.
All right. So this is the scheduler. It's a newer feature that they've had for a while, and so you can schedule things. The rule to enable at a certain time or pause overnight. So you set up the time, and it will pause then, and then you can set the time for it to resume, and you can set which days of the week you would like that to do. And the other option is you can also have it reset your price throughout the day, after it pauses the repricing. So let's, for instance, say Q4, you want it to price only during, like 6 p.m. to 10 p.m. or something, and then after that you would bump the price back up $10 or something, and have it start again. And you could do that every day. You could do it during just work days, during the weekdays or the weekends or something like that. And the other option is a fixed date schedule, which is where you would just only enable repricing at a certain date, which has to be, I think, in the future, doesn't it?
Yes, has to be
right.
Future time, or otherwise you'll get an error.
Right.
Yeah.
In the future date. So let's say, for instance, you have a SKU that's like a Q4 product, it's only going to really sell well in Q4. So you just set it way up there, and you don't want it to do anything until Q4 comes, so you can have it paused until, say November 20th or something, and then it can start repricing, for instance. It all depends on what you would like to do. You can pick one or the other, not both, I believe is the case.
Oh, I have to say, Chris, that would be like really far in advance thinking. I totally didn't even think that anybody would set it that far in advance, but that's very interesting. I think what we have in mind is usually like maybe you just want to pause it like next week or something. But that is very interesting. If someone thought about that, you can really pause it for a long time.
Right.
Yeah. Okay, cool. All right. So that's all for the rule section. Okay. So the next few slides are about the data and how to use that data to help you make decisions. So this is the competitor analysis screen, and it's basically a visualization of what's on Amazon, really. So we have the top 20 sellers in here. So at the top, you'll see the listing, SKU, ASIN, and the condition. And we'll pull up the top 20 sellers for your condition. And as you can see, there's a lot of data on here. You have the competitor, and normally we just show you the seller ID. So in the screenshot, you'll see that that I edited some of them. So you have this option. You can edit the competitor name so that's something that you can understand instead of just like a jumble of, their seller ID. So there's a lot of columns in here. It shows the total price. It shows your price and the shipping, their seller type, whether it's FBA, FBM, or NF means non-featured. Non-featured means they can't win the buy box. So the condition, their handling time, if they're expedited shipping or not. If they are, it'll show a green check mark there. And back ordered, if they're back ordered, it'll show a check mark and plus a date if you hover over it. So I don't have any in this example, but if you did, there'd be a check mark in the back order column. You can see their seller ratings and where they ship from. So basically, like, you can kind of see the most important factors of winning the buy box here for everyone. So, you can use this and gauge your competition. And also what's really cool is that we also let you visualize your min price and your max price. So you can see, like in this example, based off of the way that my min price is set, like the lowest I could be is like the 10th ranked seller on this listing. So if I wanted to be like eligible for the lowest price on this listing, I would have to bring my min price down to, at least like $6 to do that. Okay. So, So this next slide is the data that we have for each listing. This is pretty big. It helps you make a lot of decisions when you do repricing. So we show the buy box win percentage. And so how we calculate this is we take all your price notifications for the day. So let's say you have 10 price notifications and 4 of them show that you're in a buy box. So you'll have a buy box win percentage of 40% there. Okay, so the next data point is the buy box winner. It'll show you if the buy box winner is FBA or FBM or Amazon, so that you know what you're up against. Who is the buy box competitor on that listing. Position shows you your lowest price rank. So 6 would mean you're the 6th lowest price. Sales rank is the next one. It'll show you the sales rank, and a note. So you can leave a note on each listing. And lastly, all of these you can filter you can sort by all of these. So like if you click on like buy box percentage, it'll sort like the buy box percentages for all your listings on that page. So starting with the highest. So like at the top, it would be like 100%. And at the bottom, it would be like 0%. So you can sort by all of these. Okay. The price history, it shows you up to 5 days of repricing. So you can monitor the changes, kind of evaluate your strategy a little bit. Okay. Business reports. This business reports are a little bit advanced, and I was thinking about taking it out just because it's a little bit advanced. But I think it's better that I let you know that it's there anyway, so you guys can explore it when you have time. Okay, so I'll try to make this like kind of a little bit more simple to understand. So business reports, they track data for individual listings and also across your entire account. So you can kind of check the performance for each listing individually and then kind of look across your whole count and say, yeah, okay, are things working in general? Okay, so the things that the report helps you do is it helps you identify who's your competitor. Who are your main competitors? Is it Amazon? Is it FBA or is it FBM? Because depending on which one is your main competitor, you need a different repricing strategy. But I feel like in general, people know. Like I think most FBA sellers know that, like, okay, my main competitor is usually FBA. But like with this data, like you can actually check that. You can actually back that up. Okay, so the next one is it tells you who is winning the buy box on your listings. Is it Amazon, FBA, or is it FBM? Okay, and it tells you who is the lowest price, who's winning the lowest price. Is it Amazon, FBA, or FBM? And also, and this one is just kind of a different one. Is you can see the lowest price and the highest price order for individual listings. So let's say like you check a listing and it shows the lowest price is $5 and the highest price is like $15. So that's just something handy to check. All of this data is within the business reports. So the identify competitors ones would be the ones that say compete versus FBA and then percentage, compete versus FBM percentage. The tells you who's winning the buy box would be the buy box lost. Is it FBA, FBM, or Amazon? And whose lowest price would be lowest price lost, FBA, FBM, or Amazon, etc. Okay, and this is a new slide. We just added it for this presentation. So yeah, so like we presented a lot of data, and we kind of want to summarize a little bit like how you can use it. Okay, so yeah, we have sales rank, and I think in general, people look at sales rank, and if it's a high ranking product, like let's say like 2 million or something, you feel like it's going to move slower, so you might use a more aggressive repricing strategy. Stock levels. You want to make sure you monitor your quantity to make sure that you're in stock. So we have the quantity is available on the managed listings page, so you can use that to make decisions. I think Chris, you told me that if it's a high sales rank product and you have a whole lot of quantity, then you're more likely to use an aggressive repricing strategy, right?
Yeah, typically, if it's been sitting there for a while, usually that's most of the times the case. You know, there's something wrong, and you should just kind of liquidate it, probably.
Right, right on. Yeah. Okay. Cool. And yeah, so competitors. You know, obviously we have a lot of competitor data, like in competitor analysis, and you know, we tell you who your competitor types are. So yeah, it's good to know your competitor selling types and how many you're going up against, because if you're somebody whose listings only has 1 or 2 competitors, then it's going to be totally different than if you have like 15 or 20 competitors. Yeah, so if you have more competitors, you probably have to be more aggressive if you want to win the buy box. ROI. So that's, you know, this is why people use the profit calculator. So with ROI, it's important to go with a percentage that you are comfortable with. So, you know, some people prefer high ROI, and high ROI products are good because it gives you more room to lower your price, right? If it gets really competitive. But I was just talking to Chris about it, and you know, Chris mentioned that, hey, you know, sometimes he prefers lower ROI products if it moves faster, it's easier to replenish and easy to prep, right?
Yep.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Basically, that's it. So sales volume. You know, what's your best-selling products? You know, what's not selling well? So you can kind of take a look at those and try to figure out why. Chris, do you use this like in the dashboard? Do you look at these?
You mean the managed listings page, or?
Oh, or either one. Yeah, either on the managed listings page or the dashboard.
Oh, the best selling. Yeah. Oh, yeah. I've actually looked at that a few times, and it's interesting to know, kind of helps you decide if it's a replenishable item, what you should keep stocking. So there is certainly data there. Yeah, it's in the dashboard view is the most helpful, I think, is it tells you what your top products are and for certain time periods. And it's really nice because you can kind of track, what you should really continue selling if it's at all possible.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. And so number 6 is check your buy box win rate. Make sure it's reaching, what you want it to be. Yeah, and we show the buy box win rate for the all your listings, unless the data is not available. That is possible. Yeah, and if the buy box win rate is not what you want it to be, you can take a look at your min price, your max price, and your rule, and kind of see what might be going on there. And my last point is actually to not necessarily look at all of this data separately, but rather, kind of evaluate on a whole. Is everything kind of working for you? Are you making a reasonable return? With your rule and strategy. So Chris, is there a time where is there a time when you look at it and you're like, you think that, no, this is not what I want? Like, what do you look at, and what kind of things do you change?
Yeah, it kind of all depends, I guess, so it's kind of one of those things. That's your last point there. The holistic view is kind of just the whole thing, and it comes with experience, I suppose, but you kind of gauge, what it is. Maybe a high sales rank is okay because you make like 300 ROI on it, and it makes like $50 profit. So you're okay with waiting, and making one sale a day or one sale a week potentially. Maybe you only have 2 items, so stock level matters too. So it kind of all depends. You don't necessarily always want something to sell really, really fast, and so it's okay to wait. And change your strategy based on those things. So that's kind of the biggest thing, is to kind of look at everything as a whole and decide what you want to do with it. And there's not one easy mathematical formula for everything necessarily.
Yeah, right on. Yeah, good point. Okay, so that actually wraps up the kind of the features overview. So Chris, can you check if do we have any questions so far? Does anyone have any questions?
So far, it's been pretty good. There was just one about if you edit the name of the seller IDs, do they continue to reflect on other listings? And the answer is yes in that case.
Yeah. That's a great question. Yes, they do reflect on other listings. Chris, do you do that? Do you spend the time to edit the sellers?
I don't typically. But,
Yeah.
It doesn't really matter who it is to me, but you certainly could if you wanted to. It's nice that it's there.
Yeah. Some people do use this. Like, I guess if they show up over and over again, I think you would want to. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But if it's like all different, then it might not be worth your time. Yeah. But it's definitely an interesting feature. Cool. All right. Anything else? That one's it?
Yeah, that's it for now.
Okay, cool. Well, all right. So we kind of went over the features and some strategy, and so this next part is we'll actually go into the software and kind of show you the basics, kind of where everything is, and how to basically set things up. We'll look at the managed listings page, the rules, and the schedule, and briefly the dashboard and reports. Okay, and let's see. So the first thing that you really want to think about, and there's no right answer for this, is what are your goals? Like, are you looking for a lowest price strategy? Are you or do you want to like compete versus the buy box? And also, do you want to beat those prices? Do you want to beat those prices? Do you want to match those prices? Do you want to reprice up? Some other things to think about. Are your competitors' prices, do they tend to be very close together, or are they very spread apart? Are your competitors FBA or FBM? So these are all questions that you'll want to be asking yourself as you set things up. Okay, so let me exit out of the presentation and okay. Okay, so Chris, are you seeing the software on my screen?
Not yet. We're still on the presentation.
Okay. I guess I need to do something really quick. Okay. I've stopped sharing. Okay, are we still on the air?
Yeah, it's still showing. It's weird.
Okay, hold on.
I'll answer a question while you're waiting. Someone asked about stock levels. Does it show competitor stock levels? Not right now. We do not see any stock levels. But you can see those in like Keepa, for instance. If you go, you can get the Keepa extension and stuff like that. So you can certainly do that if you want to, but not within the app itself. No, not within BQool itself.
Okay. So now, Chris, can you see the software now?
Yep, there you go.
Okay, nice. Okay, sweet. So we're actually in the software. I'm going to show you within a group. So if you go to the left side, we have a group filter. So I made this group called demo, and this is what I use to demo. Okay, yeah. So this is a managed listings page, and so we're going to start setting up our min and max price. So very, very simple. Just you enter a min price, you enter a max price, and you choose a rule, and you hit save. Oops. That's because so I got that error. So it's kind of funny. I got that error. Because my shipping is $5, so my min price has to be more than $5. So if I do like 501, maybe that should work. Blah blah blah. Yeah. Okay. Okay. So what was that one about? Because my original price was $90, and my max price was $20, and so it lowered my current price so that it's within my range. You see that? So now your price plus shipping is $20, which is my max. Okay, so that's why I got that. All right. And here's where the calculator is. Like, just a second ago, I entered the min price automatically. Yeah, but you can definitely use the calculator. So this is FBM. So I'll see if I can find an FBA example in a minute, but this is for FBM. And as you can see, we have the shipping, and it pulls the shipping in, and the min price is $501. We don't have the product cost yet, so I guess let me enter a product cost of let's say 50 cents. The FBM shipping cost, okay, so it's $1. We'll just leave it at that. Okay, so if I hit reload, you'll see that down at the bottom, it spits out the estimated profit margin, and ROI. Okay, so this I think 500% is a little bit high. That might be a little bit extreme, but let's kind of work backwards a little bit. Let's like I can enter 50% ROI, right? And I hit reload. Estimated profit value is out of range. Wonder why I got that. Yeah, maybe if I try, okay, maybe I'll try a new min price. See what that's like. Okay.
I think it's your shipping. I think is just messing it up, honestly, because
Oh,
it couldn't go below $5, so
yeah.
it can't go less than that.
Great catch, Chris. Yeah, you're absolutely right. I think you're right. Okay. So let me try that again. Okay, 50%. Yeah. Okay. So the new min. So if I do 50% ROI and I change it to shipping to $1, yeah. So the new min price is $2.75. Yeah. Thanks, Chris. That's a really great catch. That's what happens when you have really high shipping and low min price. You get a lot of errors.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So yeah. So that's that's how you set up min, max, and rule. And here's the cost column. You can set cost here and quantity. We show quantity here. Date created is when you created the listing, and here is in the middle part. That's where a lot of the data is. Now this is a test account, so unfortunately a lot of stuff isn't showing or it's not active. I guess the fourth example down here is probably a little bit better, but not really the best one. So my buy box win percentage is 0%, but yours, it probably will be higher than that. But it does show you the FBA. The winner is currently FBA. I'm ranked 8, and the sales rank for this book is like 3 million. So it's like a super high ranking book. So yeah, so there's all this data here, and on the right side we have the low price plus shipping. That's the current low price plus shipping, buy box price plus shipping. The estimated profit margin, ROI column, that just pulls the data from here. If you click on the calculator for your price plus shipping, it just pulls whatever data is in here and it displays it in the column. Okay, so you can kind of get a general idea of the current price that you're setting at, what kind of profit margin, ROI that you get. Okay, and on the left side of each listing, there's various actions. Like if you click on this, it'll turn on competitor analysis. And this is the one from my screenshot. It should, like I edited some of the sellers, and these are just made up names. They're not the real seller's name. Yeah, and you can see the price history for each listing. You can pause repricing. And here are some handy little features for making very quick changes. Like you can just match your min price to the lowest price, match your min price to the buy box price, or match your price to the lowest price, match your price to the buy box price. Yeah, and you can add these listings to groups. Okay, and so those are individual actions. If you want to do actions in bulk, like you can do this and it'll select all the listings, or you can select them individually, and then you go to bulk actions, and it's the same actions except like you can do things in bulk. Like you can set min max price and rule in bulk, or you can set cost in bulk. So I'll just go into it, but we have a video all about like bulk actions, so I won't go into it in too much detail. But anyways, the first option is like, just apply to the listings that you just selected. And we also have 2 other filters here, like you can apply to a specific group or all listings missing min, max, price, and rule. And what you want to do is if you want to set min, max, and rule, turn the ones that you want to set on, and then there's various options. Like you can do it based off of your price plus shipping, a cost, or a fixed price, and you enter a value, and then you hit save and you move on, and it'll set up min, max, and rule for you in bulk. All right. Let me go over the filters with you. Okay, so right now I'm in a group. Maybe I'll go back to the all filter. So now I have it shows all the listings in my test account. There's 105 listings in here. So yeah, there's a lot of filters on this left side. You can sort by active listings, inactive, repricing enabled, repricing paused. If you click on default filters, boom, like there's a lot more filters hidden in here. Like you can find the listings that are matching buy box price, not matching buy box price at lowest price, listings missing min price, max price. Yeah, there's a lot in here. You guys can take a look at it. There's some more filters down here. So what these would be is like, for example, maybe I want to find all listings where the min price is between $1 and $5, for example. So, and then you hit search. So that's how you would sort, or maybe you're looking for all listings where the quantity, where, you know, maybe you're about to run out of stock. So like maybe all listings that have between 1 and 5 quantity. Okay, and yeah, so there's a lot more filters in here, so you guys can check it out. At the top it's a pretty basic search function. You can search by the SKU, the ASN or title to pull up the listing. You can sort by active or inactive, whether it's FBA or FBM. Okay, and as I mentioned before, if you look at this top column, a lot of these are sortable, right? So like, for example, you know, if you click on title, it'll sort the listings based off of the title, the alphabetical order. Or you can try, maybe let's try the rank. Okay, so we actually have some this listing is a pretty low rank there. I'm actually surprised. I thought most of the stuff in here is pretty high ranked. Okay. Yeah, so yeah, you can see all of these with a line underneath. You can sort and filter by these. Yeah. All right. So listings available. This is really just to help you kind of keep track of your subscription. Like it lets you know how many listings that we've downloaded and how many that you're subscribed to, how many are repricing enabled, and how many you have left. So on my plan, I have 5,000 listings and I've only enabled 12, so I can enable like another 4,900 more listings. Okay, so here we have the general settings. So we mentioned this earlier. This is where you kind of go to automate setup. So right here is if you want to do out of stock, and here's if you want to do defaults for min, max, and rule. So these three. Yeah. So you know, cost if you want to set up cost, FBM shipping cost, and the shipping price I was talking about is all here, and you can hit save if you make changes here. And the preferences, this just has to do with like kind of like hiding columns and adding columns that you like or you don't want to see. Okay, I think that's everything on the manage listings page.
How about we had a question about
oh yeah,
can you add to the favorite filters? So show them how you would do that quick.
Oh yeah, sure. All right, so let's so min price between like 1 and 5, and so down here under search there's a save as a favorite filter. So I come up with a filter name like that was min price, right? I don't know.
Yeah,
I'll just say like min price favorite. Okay, so so now, yeah, if you look under favorite filter, you'll see we have a new min price favorite. And if I click on it, it just pulls up all the listings that qualify. All of these have a min price between $1 and $5. So pretty cool, yeah. And you can also like move these up or move it down, like edit or delete them. So yeah, you guys can play around with these. A lot of fun. Yeah, so, okay. So I guess maybe move on to the rules a little bit. So yeah, so here's the rule page, and there's, I think for new signups, I think you guys have 4 rules by default. Yeah, and over here on the right side, it tells you how many listings are applied to that rule. And if you click on this, it'll actually take you to the manage listings page and show you all the listings that apply to this rule only. And the scheduler is over here. So if you want to play around with the scheduler, it's right next to each one of the rules. Yeah, so let's actually go ahead and click into the rules. At the top, that you have the buy box settings, and this is what applies if you're in the buy box. You reprice a special way using these settings. The price change safety net, we have one for the buy box, so in case like you want to prevent big price drops, you can use the safety net. And down here we have repricing settings, and this is what you use when you are not in the buy box. So yeah, so first, there were some questions that we asked, like, you have to know your strategy. Do you want to compete against the buy box price or the lowest price? So we have both options here. I think for this demo, we'll just like stick with the buy box price. The options below will be slightly different depending on which one you choose. But you'll get the general idea. So yeah, you choose your competitors. If you're competing against buy box price, I think you just want to do Amazon FBA and FBM, because these guys cannot win the buy box. Yeah, and we have the various scenarios that Chris kind of walked you guys through. What do you want to do if the buy box winner is between min and max price? So I have this rule set up to where it reprices above the buy box by 1 cent. Yeah, so this is or if you want to match the buy box, you can do that. So these would be both more conservative strategies, more like sharing the buy box kind of strategies, as opposed to trying to outright win it. Yeah. And there's various options. If you want to beat the buy box, though, yeah, you just change that to a minus and change that to like beat by 1 cent. Yeah, so what happens if the buy box winner equals your min price? There's various options here. I think most people just stick with use min price. What do you want to do when you're the only seller? Do you want to use min price, max price? Do not reprice or customize your price. Yeah, okay. What happens if the buy box winner is outside your range? We have options for that. Okay, buy box is suppressed. Okay, these are the options for when buy box is suppressed. There's a safety net for the repricing settings. Min price protection settings, it really just tells you that we won't go below your min price. There's really nothing to do here. Advanced settings, this is what you would turn on if you want to compete against different seller types differently. Okay, so if you look up here right now, so we compete against Amazon FBA and FBM, and it doesn't matter who's winning the buy box, whether it's Amazon FBA or FBM, we're going to beat the buy box by 1 cent. But if you go down here and you turn this on, so if you turn on FBA versus FBM, FBA being you and FBM being your competitor, if you turn this on, I have it set to buy box price plus 5%. So if the buy box winner is FBM, then you will take the buy box price and add 5% to it as your price. But if the buy box winner is either FBA or Amazon, you'll just use the regular repricing settings. So hopefully that makes sense. So the custom settings, just like Chris mentioned, yeah, here's where you, so the top few are for excluding or including sellers. I really don't think very many people would use just include, because like you would be competing against specific people only, but it's possible if it's the same few sellers showing up and you want to compete a certain way against them. But I think most people use exclude, and you can add seller ID here if you want to exclude people. Yeah, you can exclude by free shipping, expedited shipping. Turn these on if you if you want to exclude by feedback rating and back ordered handling time. Use conditions. Use conditions are here. You can do same or better, use, collectible. So if you guys sell use, you can play around with this. Okay, so that's kind of a quick run through of the rule. I'm gonna hit cancel, don't wanna save. And you can also add a new rule here. You can, or you can edit or copy these rules. All right. Yeah, there's a price history here. And unfortunately, this is my test account, so I don't have any repricing going on. But you guys should have you should see repricing activity in here. Okay, so let me show you upload file really quick. So this is where you would go if you want to use the bulk upload system. We have 3 different files: the repricing central file, active listings file, and the inventory lab closed batch report. The repricing central file is more for updating your min, max, and rule. That's the main purpose of it. The active listings file is more for updating your cost. So some users, they want to upload their cost without uploading their min, max, and rule. And the inventory closed batch report is, we try to help you streamline the process. We know a lot of users use Inventory Lab. So if you download the Inventory Lab closed batch report from Inventory Lab, you can convert that to a BQool file, and so we can upload your cost. So you don't have to, it can help speed up the process a little bit. So yeah, you would download those files here, and when you are ready to upload, you would do that here as well. Okay, and let's go over the dashboard really quickly. So the dashboard, I think a lot of users, they log in and they check the dashboard once per day just to make sure everything is okay. To give you like a quick overview of what's going on in your account. Unfortunately, most of my data is blank. Like my buy box win percentage is 0%. So, but you will have something here. And just know that the dashboard, it operates on a 1-day delay. So on your first day, don't feel nervous if you don't see any data here. It operates on a 1-day delay. There's a lot of handy gadgets in here, like buy box win percentage. I think that's the main one that people look at. You can also see how often your price is reaching your min price. So there's this one in here. How often your price is the lowest price. Yeah, and yeah, there's a lot of data in here. You guys can take a look at that. And the main dashboard, is less about repricing and more about like looking at things like what are your best-selling items by revenue, what is your best-selling items by units ordered, so and what your total sales have been. So it's more like letting you know how your sales are doing, and so you can make decisions based off of that. Okay, so that's the dashboard and the reports. The reports are actually just basically more detailed information of the dashboard. So pretty much most of the stuff that's in the dashboard is also in the reports. But yeah, the reports has like a timeline, and it's much more detailed. So you can find the reports from here, and on the right side, you can see that I only have like a fraction of all of the possible columns that are available. So you can add and hide columns here. And yeah, so most of my data here is blank. And on the left side, we have 4 different types of reports for repricing users. Yeah, you guys can check that out. I briefly went over it in the features guide section. Okay, so yeah, there's 4 different types of reports. So that's basically it for the demo. Chris, do you think there's anything else that we should go over or any questions?
Yeah, we actually have questions about the rules.
Yeah. Sweet.
So if you would go to the rules section again.
Yeah, go back to the rules. Okay. Yeah.
All right, so they kind of want to know what the difference is between the rules, I guess you would say.
Okay. So yeah, so you should have 4 default rules in your account. And so basically we have 2 rules that are aggressive and 2 rules that are more conservative, more profit maximizing. Okay, so yeah, 2 aggressive rules and 2 profit maximizing rules. And these 2 down here that say like maximize profit or stay competitive, these are using the low price setting. So you'd be competing against the lowest price, sorry. And the top 2 compete against buy box price. Okay, and what that means is if you go into the rule, if you go into the rule and you go to repricing settings, so yeah, there's the option to compete against buy box price or the lowest price. So the options for both are slightly different because like if you choose lowest price, then you can see that we don't have the buy box suppressed option because you're not looking at the buy box price. You're looking just at the lowest price. So you can see the options are a little bit different. So yeah, it's actually pretty interesting. You might be wondering which one to use. It depends on your strategy. I see a lot of accounts that actually use lowest price strategy. So if you want to compete against lowest price, and also a lot of people use buy box price. It just depends on which one gets you closer to the price that you want, like which strategy that you want. So I know Chris, you mostly use the compete versus buy box price, right?
Yeah, usually.
Yeah. Okay. So does that clear that up, or does that make more sense now?
Yeah. So your maximize profit one is the ones that are more conservative, and the stay competitive ones are the ones that are a little more aggressive.
Yeah.
And then the difference was just one is the compare against buy box, and one compares against the lowest price. So two different theories. Depends on what you want to do. It depends on the listing situations. I found usually that if you compare against buy box price, you have the potential to make more profits. Granted, there has to be a buy box. If it's suppressed, then I use the lowest price method. But otherwise, I try and use the buy box price because most times that gives you the prime price. Whether it's more profitable or not. That's usually how it goes.
Right. Yeah, that's great. And also, I guess I should also mention that the rules, they'll also have slightly different buy box settings. Like the maximize profit, it'll probably, if you're the buy box winner, like the default setting will be probably to try to raise your price. So let's say you win the buy box at $12, but your competitor raises price from $12.50 to $13. So raise my buy box price will actually raise your price to $12.99 within 1 cent of that competitor that just raised their price. Okay, so Yeah, so all the rules have slightly different. They have slightly different buy box settings for when you're in the buy box, and different settings for when you're not in the buy box. The repricing settings. Yeah. Okay. So yeah, any more kind of demo questions?
I don't see any yet.
Okay, cool. Well, let me, so that's all for the demo, and we can always, if you have more questions, we can come back. So let me go back to the presentation. So Chris, can you see the presentation now?
Not yet.
Ooh, okay, hold on. Oh. Okay, I gotta do something with my screen share. Okay, let me stop sharing for a second. It'll probably take a second to load. Oops. Are you still seeing the software?
Still seeing, yeah.
All right.
There you go. It should be coming up now.
Okay, let me do. Okay, I figured it out. Okay. All right. Okay, you see the presentation again, right?
Yes, correct.
Okay, cool. So yeah, I just want to make sure you guys know all the resources that are available to users. The first one is our support site, support.bqool.com. We have articles, specific articles about most everything that you need. So please check that out. We also have some videos, tutorials online on our YouTube channel. Just go to YouTube and type in BQool support. Yeah, we have some tutorials and some other webinars and stuff. And also this, we record all of these webinars and we upload them so you guys can check it out. Yeah, and we have our blog, blog.bqool.com. We have some interesting articles in there that talks about like events, news, and different strategies. So you guys can check out our blog. We have, some of you might already know this, but we have our Facebook page, our BQool Facebook page. You can check that out for news and stuff. And also on Facebook, we have our user support group, which Chris helps us manage, right? And if you guys are interested in recommending us, definitely become an affiliate. It just takes a few minutes to sign up. Even if you just want to recommend us to one friend, we want to pay you for it. And the only way to do that is if you sign up for an affiliate account. So if you like BQool, please sign up for an affiliate account. If you guys have any questions, please email support@bqool.com. And we're also available via phone and live chat. But we're running a little bit short on support. So right now, phone and live chat is only by appointment. Okay, so I would say probably the best way is to email us and ask your question or use the email to set up a time. Or if you guys don't mind staying up a little bit late, most of our staff is located in Taiwan, so our phone and live chat is very much available to you guys at nighttime. Okay, but I guess I think I would probably recommend checking out support side and YouTube and our Facebook user support first. So there's a lot of good stuff in there. Okay, and so in case you guys didn't know, there is a promo going on where we're having an extended trial during this summer. It's our special summertime sale. Right now, everybody gets a extended trial. Normally, it's just 2 weeks, but right now it's an extended trial, and you also get a 40% off first month coupon. And here's the link to their blog article with the promotion in case you want to see the, go to the blog and read it. So yeah, I have everyone's emails who signed up for this webinar. So if you guys all have account managers, and if they don't send you this, please let us know, and we'll make sure you get the extended trial and the discount. Okay, and that's it. Now we just Q&A if we have any more questions. So let's go ahead and put Chris. Let's go ahead and put ourselves back on screen for anyone who's still here. Okay. Oh, I think I just have us hidden. So let's make us big again. Yeah. Oh, so we're back. We were gone for like an hour or so. Yeah, we're back on screen. Cool. So I don't know. Maybe let's take a look at the poll results again. So we still have 3 respondents. Yeah. So someone's pretty experienced, 3 to 5 years. So we have an experienced. Everyone is new to repricing, and 2 do wholesale and 1 do RA. Cool. Okay, so are there any more specific questions or any any more kind of comments that you guys have? Hopefully this webinar has been helpful for you guys. So hopefully it's helpful to kind of like that we're live and you guys can ask questions and stuff.
Yeah, it can be kind of complicated, but you can take it easy and just try it out for a little bit. Most of the stuff that's in there is completely fine to use and start with.
Mm-hmm. Cool.
There's a question.
Ooh, question. Nice.
Can more than one US account be loaded into the same BQool account?
Ah, okay, good question.
That's a good one.
No, you would have to sign up for a new account, but you can manage both. We have a merge option. So you would have to sign up for a new account, but you can merge them so that you manage them both within one BQool account. Yeah, so hopefully that answers your question. If you had like a US and a UK account, yeah, you could. That would be easier. Yeah, you could use the same account. But even with 2 US accounts, you can merge them. You would have to purchase 2 different subscriptions though. Yeah, but that's cool. That's totally fine. You have more than one US account.
Right.
Cool. So what do you guys think? Is it okay? You guys got the hang of it?
I think so. Sounds like it anyway. Must have covered some bases.
Yeah. All right. Cool. Well, I guess that's it. Yeah. So thank you guys for tuning in, and thank you, Chris, for co-hosting the webinar, all of these webinars.
Yeah, we're always around. There's the Facebook support group. If you have additional questions, you can get some answers there. And as always, through BQool support.
Yeah, cool. All right, well, we're already running at like over an hour and a half, so I guess we'll call it a night. So thank you guys for tuning in, and have a good night. And we'll see you guys around. All right, bye.
Bye.
Okay, stop.